In the early 1840s, the southern Great Plains of North America were not an empty wilderness. They were the heart of an empire on horseback, forged in speed and violence, that stretched for 250,000 square miles. This was the Comanchería, and its rulers were the Nʉmʉnʉʉ, the people, known to the Spanish, Mexicans, and Americans by a Ute word for enemy, Comanche. For over a century, they had been the undisputed masters of this domain, the Lords of the Plains. Originally a small hunter-gatherer tribe from the mountains of Wyoming, a branch of the Shoshone, their destiny was transformed by the arrival of a single animal, the horse. They did not just learn to ride, they became one with their mounts, developing a horse culture so advanced it set the standard for all other plains tribes. They were master breeders, fierce warriors, and shrewd traders, whose power radiated from the central pillar of their society, the buffalo. Their dominance was absolute. They had fought the Spanish Empire to a standstill, halting its northward expansion in a way few other indigenous peoples had ever managed. Their power was so great that in the late 18th century, it was said they had stolen every horse in New Mexico. But the Comanchería was not a monolithic state with a single ruler. It was a fluid confederacy of autonomous bands, the Penateca, or honey eaters in the south, the Noconi, the Quetzoteca, and others to the north. Each band operated independently, united by a common language and culture, but pursuing its own goals. This decentralized structure would prove to be a source of profound and bloody misunderstanding with outsiders, who, accustomed to centralized authority, could never grasp that a treaty made with one chief was not binding on any other. The engine of their empire was a brutal economy of raid and trade. Each fall, under the light of a full moon that Texans would come to call the Comanche moon, war parties would ride south. They followed a network of trails, sometimes a mile wide, etched into the desert floor by millions of hooves over decades. This great Comanche war trail led them deep into Mexico, where they raided for horses, mules, and human captives. Captives were a vital commodity, taken to replace population losses from disease and war, to be assimilated into the tribe, or to be sold as slaves to traders in New Mexico. By the 1840s, this empire was at its zenith, a formidable and unconquered nation